Hi, good morning. My name is Robin, and I'm here at your Wright-Patterson Consolidated Hobby Complex. And today we are going to work on a Thanksgiving fall centerpiece for your table. Now, as far as centerpieces go, they can be as elaborate as you want them to be. But if you're trying to decorate on a budget, we can also talk about that too. It also depends upon the size of your table as to what size of centerpiece you want to use. But the first decision you need to make is decide on what type of base that you want to do with this. I've seen everything from mason jars to painted vegetable cans to the more elaborate bread bowls, or dough bowls, I should say. So, but we chose this. We were able to get something on clearance, so everything that I try to decorate with, I either try to recycle from previous projects, or I definitely never pay full price for anything. So I was able to secure this basket at Hobby Lobby, and again, it was on clearance. For me, when it comes to Thanksgiving, it's all the traditional colors. You don't have to stick with this color concept. You can choose whatever colors, but I'm going to be using the whites and the oranges and the apples and those unique fall colors. The good thing about doing a holiday basket is it can also cover for a fall type setting on your table. You can get as elaborate and as tall as you want, but for me, I want to enter exchange with people at the table, so I chose a base that is going to be low, and in order to give it some depth, I also bought a craft form, and essentially all I'm going to do is set this right inside of the basket. It should fit right in the bottom of it. You can secure it with glue. I'm choosing not to do that, because after this holiday, Christmas is going to roll around, and I just want to be able to lift my form out, put it in a storage bag, and secure it for the next year, and then I will have made my Christmas one, and I'll just pop it right back into the basket. So basket, and then I purchased this because I wanted to give the centerpiece itself some depth. So I'm going to raise that up. I'm just going to put this right in here. If you find that your styrofoam doesn't work in the size container, you can make it conform. And for this one, I just took a gentle tap on the side of the table to mush that down. I didn't want it completely loose. I did still want it to be able to be movable. So I just placed my foam down into that. Next thing I want to do, because when we add all of the flowers and stuff to the top of it, we don't want to forget about filling around the base of it. It's going to be a little bit more difficult. I love Dollar Tree. You can make some extremely beautiful things from Dollar Tree. They have their glass vases that you can use as bases, but you can also get all this knick-knacky stuff there as well, so that you can build it around your bases. It just gives it that little bit more professional look. And while we're talking about professional looks, just bear in mind, I'm not an expert. I've watched enough YouTube videos that I can confidently make something for my home. So you don't have to have any particular skill level in order to be able to decorate. It's just as simple as watching some videos or just sitting down and playing with things that you might have in your home to make it look a little more decorative. So we're going to fill that base up to there. And I'm going to start with my center, the thing that I want to put on the center of this as well. Just because when you're decorating, or at least for me, I decorate the big items first so that I can come in with various florals and put those in. Don't let this table overwhelm you when you're decorating. I have done several projects, and I always wind up with one or two of these little things, and I never throw anything away, so that when I do get ready to make another project, I can just skip right back into it and use these. So this really didn't cost me very much. I buy a lot of flowers from Dollar Tree, Hobby Lobby, Joann's, just the multitude, Michael's. I pick all of those places here in town. I don't want to completely disassemble this, but essentially for this item, which is going to be our centerpiece, it's going to be up here. I took one of those fat squares that you can buy for a couple dollars at Walmart, and I cut it down into a shape. I took the poly stuffing. It comes in a bag. You just pull it out, and I completely filled the inside of my piece of cloth here. And then I started pulling up on my edges and around this. Then I went out to my backyard, and this is where I say you can recycle a lot of things. I went and got a branch, and I just broke it down for size, and then I stuck it in there, pulled all this stuff up, and then I used jute, which is so appropriate for the fall scene. I took the jute and I secured it. So I'm going to go through here and I'm just going to trim off all the excess jute. Now, you can completely leave your pumpkin just like this, if you like. I've seen folks take the actual cloth itself, trim these off, and they've taken them and folded them out, or they've folded them over and they've glued them and made leaves out of this. So let's go ahead and see if we can do that on this project. I've got mine. We'll just go ahead and finish this one up. So I'm going to come through here. And essentially all I'm doing is folding in these corners where this piece of cloth peaks. I'm going to bring this over, and if it looks kind of, I'm just going to tug and pull. And I'm just going to glue these peaks together. You don't have to use a lot, so if you have some excess on your glue gun, you can just do that. I'm going to pull it over, and now we have something that we can leave on it. You don't have to cut the cloth. Sometimes I do. In this instance, I'm not. I'm just going to use these as a little extra decoration. So I've glued it in a couple of spots, and now I'm going to glue it up here to kind of seal that over. And I'm going to come back and now they actually have glue sticks that are meant for cloth. So you can always buy the glue stick based upon the project that you're doing. So we're going to leave that just like that. These smaller ones, we can do the exact same thing. The final thing that I would like to do with this one is I want to come through and pull like maybe some little flowers or an appropriate colored pumpkin. You can buy bags of these just about anywhere. But for this one, we're going to use this, just this orange one. And I don't think I'm going to use the pumpkin there. Let's see what else we've got. You can hot glue just about any flower into this. I'm going to cut the stems here. I'm going to pull my little glue pot over here. So let's go ahead and use our glue gun. And again, you don't have to use a lot. You're just wanting to secure it on there so it's not moving around when you're decorating. Okay, now we've got our top centerpiece completed. We're going to go on to the next largest size. So you can start with your large flowers first. That way you can get those pre-arranged on there. I've chosen these. This is the white to me, or the off-white is perfect for the holidays. And it can go in just about any of your decorating. You can even use these in your wreaths if you're making a wreath. And trim this off just a little bit with some wire cutters. So make sure you have some scissors and wire cutters and a glue gun and a glue pot, or you can just use your glue. And you don't have to, now coming down on the side just below the lip here, not actually up on there, we're going to just glue that in there. This is going to help the flower stay stable, but if you're going to recycle your pot and your actual foam here, don't glue them in, because you can just pull those flowers off, put them in the bag, and bring out your Christmas stuff. You can also make a Christmas pumpkin. I have seen people use the lighting, the Dollar Tree lighting. It's already got the batteries in it. You can hot glue that into it and decorate around that. It just is whatever your choice is. If you want to come a little bit closer, what we can do is I want to show you what this looks like from an aerial view. So now we've got our pumpkin. We have our 3 apples. That's our triangular shape. I've also went ahead and added a little bit of white. We got a couple white pieces here, so you can kind of get a view on where I'm going with this. We've got one here. We'll go the polar opposite. Put that there. And let's see, from there, let's try to get a pumpkin in there. Now, if you want to add a little more depth to your design, I never throw the bases or the stems away because they have wire, and they are perfect for giving lift or rise to your decorating. Just put you some hot glue on that, shove it into the base of what you got, and I'm going to let that sit right there for a minute and do a little bit of drying. We're going to put that in there as well. Now that we have some darker but lighter hues coming on here, we have a pick that has felt pumpkins on it. Put a couple of that in there to balance out this other white. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to go straight into the top of this. So again, you're adding your pumpkins.